Alright, so today we are in the annex to the lab, otherwise known as my living room. And this is the bare case for the Amiga 4000. And what I'm going to do, is twofold. First, if you look under here, you see my repair from years ago around feet that were starting to turn to gunk, right? So these Amiga 4000s have rubber feet on them. They were black rubber feet, and eventually they just turned to goo and became very sticky and all of that. And I had two over here that I just could not do anything with. But at the time, I was able to save, or not save, that's the wrong word. I was able to contain the mess by putting some duct tape around two of these. Of course, that left the Amiga unstable, but I'm going to get these off of here. I'm going to use my trusty Goo Gone. And then I have these new clear plastic rubber feet that I'm going to put on here. This means it'll be higher up than the original. I don't think that's a problem, but it'll be level and it won't scuff up the table. So all of these things are good things. Now, I'm also going to wash, again, all of the metal components. So this actually, like, I've got it set up right here because this is the most structurally sound one. While I'm scrubbing off those old feet, I don't want to compromise, I don't want to bend it. So this crossbar here comes and gets removed. This is where your card riser would be for all your cards. And then this cage over here, that is where the panels of the cards slide into. This can also be removed. And then I've already removed, there's a little bit of metal that goes here, kind of reinforce the mouse and the joystick port, and of course the cage for the drives. Right, so I'm going to get rid of all the gunk on the bottom, wash all of these things, and then, since this is metal and not plastic, like plastic I would just let dry for several days, but metal, I don't want that to kind of stick around for too much. So I don't want that to be moist at all. So I'm contemplating, and I've got the oven kind of preheating for this, to put these in the oven at a very low temperature, like around 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a little over 100 degrees for Europeans and everybody else on the metric system. And I'm hoping that that'll, be hot enough that it will help dry this out really quickly, but not so hot that it damages, damages the this here that's the pasted on. I didn't realize that was a sticker, but the sticker here that shows the labels and the model number. So these are the original feet. This one's not so bad. It's a little sticky, and I get a little bit of residue on my hand. The other one's a bit worse. But these things, after a while, they started to lose their structural integrity and just ooze stuff out. And this one's not so bad. Didn't get so much on my finger. But the other one up here, you can see residue of that black ooze. It was all over my lab for a while when this happened. So I'm going to cut them off and use some Goo Gone. Alright. All gone. Well, mostly. Some little bits of damage here, but this is on the underside, so I'm not so concerned. So we're going to hit this up with some Goo Gone. There's the remnants there. I actually weren't as badly decayed as some of these ones that I removed years ago, so that's good. Because that was a mess, let me tell you, like black goop everywhere. I'm still, to this day, finding things that have gotten in that black goop, either from this or from some of the Vaxes I have, and clean it up. It's a nightmare. So we hit this with the Goo Gone, let it sit for a while, clean it up, bake it maybe. and see how it goes. We're back here in the annex to the lab, also known as the kitchen. And I've washed all the plastic pieces related to this Amiga 4000, just using regular dish soap and water. And I'm letting them hang out here to get completely 100% dry, so that I can reassemble them. And I'm sold on washing old electronics like this because over time just so much dirt and gunk builds up onto them. Like, they felt dirty to touch before, and now they feel clean. I'm not going to retrobrite this till I get everything working. And even then I might not. You know, I just don't know about the retrobriting. So I've also got my oven hanging out at 250 Fahrenheit, which is a little bit over 100 Celsius. And no, this isn't a cooking show. I am baking the metal parts, which I also washed in dishwashing liquid and water, just a real mild mixture, just to get all the dust off. And putting them in the oven like this ensures that they dry off without rusting. And I've already done this with the case. Seems to work pretty well, didn't affect the stickers. And, you know, like I say, it makes sure that there is absolutely no rust on these from me washing them. Alright, so everything's all nice and clean and dry, and about as clean as it's been in years, except for this horrendous yellowing up here. So once the boards come back, I can start to reassemble. I've already started a little bit. I've mounted my floppy drive, and I'll be mounting this piece, which holds the card, the card ends. It goes right in there. There's a little knob here, and it gets screwed in. And then these, which are, you know, kind of card guides for the very long cards, just get snapped in over here. But that's about all I can do until the boards get back. Now, this is not my original case. I actually bought this case to replace the one that I had, which had some really serious damage to it. It was bowed, you know, probably from having too heavy of a monitor sat on it. So this, some gentleman, you know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere along those lines, was converting his Amiga 4000 to a power tower, or one of those towerized solutions, and I got this from him. I don't actually have the original case. You know, that was at a point in time in the past where I think I would have saved it now, but, you know, back then it was literal garbage.